Let's take a look at the falsely titled Patriot Act and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, on this week's Frontline segment. Frack is whack. In fact, it's an all-out attack on our planet, and yes, that includes we the people. Fracking, or hydraulic fracturing, is a method of extracting oil and natural gas by drilling into the earth and unloading a high-pressure blend of chemicals, sand, and shit tons of water to extract said oil and gas. It's responsible for the poisoning of countless aquifers, groundwater, and freshwater stores, the reason behind flammable tap water, the culprit and cause of earthquakes in places with no fault lines, and of course the vampire industry sucking about 1 to 8 million gallons of water for each job out of drought-stricken communities that could use that water for, drinking and food. So again, frack is whack. But FERC doesn't think so, and FERC is the agency responsible for greenlighting fracking sites. So starting last week and continuing now as we speak, the organization Beyond Extreme Energy is working to stop the FERCus, protesting the oil and gas-friendly agenda of FERC with a blend of blockades, artful activism, frack testimonials, and online targeting, truly embodying both tweets and marching in the streets. Last week, I spoke with Mike Badges Canning, an activist from a fracked community in Pennsylvania. Take a look. Talk a little bit about the situation at FERC. What is going on on the inside that brought you guys to the outside?
Well, for me, I live in a community that's being fracked right now. And if they approve the pipelines, then that's going to increase the fracking in Butler County, where I'm from, Butler County, Pennsylvania. We're already screwed. I mean, it's how it works out. And if they continue to open the market up for gas exploration and gas drilling, then people in my community are going to be harmed. So
there's fracking going on in your community right now already?
There's been fracking going on since late 2010. Yeah.
So what have the effects been of that?
Well, in early 2011, shortly after the first well was drilled, we had a group of people in a community called the Woodlands who started noticing that their water was bad. They are, to this day, going once a week to the White Oak Springs Presbyterian Church, where they get 20 to 25 gallons of water to drink, because the water that's coming out of their wells is not potable. These people also, many of them have health effects, because not only does fracking cause water problems, it also has a tremendous amount of air problems. And so these people have skin rashes, they have breathing difficulties. Some of them have other health problems that have turned up since then. I mean, of course, you can't point to it and say, this is caused by fracking, but these people were healthy before and now they're not. Yeah.
So has there been any efforts by the companies or by the government in your area to do something about this?
The companies all, and we have 6 companies operating in Butler County now, they all say that they're good neighbors. And what good neighbors looks like is they, if there's a problem noted, then they come in and they supply a solution for a short amount of time until they're exonerated. And then they're no longer good neighbors. They, for instance, the Woodlands folks, for a short while, were able to get, we had water buffaloes. The water buffaloes were there for maybe a year and then gone. And these, they're still without. We call our government agency, it's the Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, we call them Don't Expect Protection, because they really don't protect us. They are there to, legitimize the industry.
So this is so the DEP, they're sort of getting their marching orders from FERC, and that's why you're...
No. FERC has nothing to do with the Department of Environmental Protection. FERC's important to us, going back to what I said before. FERC's important to us because if the pipelines go through and the export facilities go through, then what we're going to end up with is more gas wells in western Pennsylvania. Right now, it's not very profitable to drill for gas in Pennsylvania, but if they are able to export it, then yeah, it becomes very profitable.
And that's the export at Cove Point, correct?
That's one of the exports. I mean, they have actually got like 20-some export facilities on the table. Cove Point is one of them, and that's the one that's closest to us.
So this is really a two-pronged effort for you. It's not only stopping FERC from getting those pipelines put in, but it's also stopping the export facilities from being built.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we don't, well, number one, we don't want fracking to happen, period. If they can't do it safely, they have no business doing it. That's number one for me. But that's not with FERC. That's something else. But yeah, if money starts flowing into state coffers, then it's going to become increasingly more difficult to stop the drilling, period, because now we're tied to it. We need it.
So talk a little bit about the actions that are planned for tomorrow and next week. What are some of the tactics that you're using, and what are some of the goals that you're looking to accomplish?
Well, we want to shine the spotlight on FERC, first of all. So some of the tactics, again, I can't really speak to what's going to happen because we don't really know what's going to happen yet. We're going to respond to what we see when we get there. But the tactic is to shut them down every single day if we can. Last November, we had the blockades. I'm sure we'll have blockades again this year.
And for those of you who aren't aware, last November there were blockades outside of FERC for an entire week, and you blocked all 3 entrances, and you were successful at shutting down FERC for the entire week. Is that correct?
At least part of the day for, the entire week. And the other thing that was pretty remarkable was the last day. We actually had a captive audience. The FERC employees were stuck out on the sidewalk, and they had to listen to stories from the shale fields, people who actually are living with the drilling, the consequences of drilling. So yeah, it was pretty powerful, and we hope to replicate it again this year. What we've got scheduled this year is a series of different actions. I mean, there's going to be a faith group that's going to be there to bear witness. There's going to, again, be another contingent from folks in the shale fields. There'll be people in impacted communities with compressor stations and like the folks at Cove Point and other places where the export facilities are scheduled to go in. They'll have days, too, so where they can have their piece put before the employees of FERC.
And what have been some of the responses, either from the employees that you've encountered outside FERC or even from inside FERC? What have been some of the responses?
I've not had many conversations with FERC folks, but as far as it goes, the former director, Cheryl LaFleur, talked about we have a situation here. I mean, they've noticed us. They actually rescheduled their meeting. Today was supposed to be a meeting day, but they held it a week ahead of time because they didn't want to deal with us. They don't want the spotlight shone on them. So I think they're responding to us. They're responding by being not very open. They're shutting the doors.
For more information on Beyond Extreme Energy, check out beyondextremeenergy.org. And for a graphic and brilliantly educational site on fracking, check out dangersoffracking.com.